it's not a technical ability. It has nothing to do with that. Like most of
Right.
the players that are on Spotify have technical ability. It's that her phrasing is such that it sounds like a native in that it's coming from their soul. It's the way that they pray.
I am so pleased to meet you both.
Oh,
I've spoken a bit to Dustin already, but yeah, I've also watched a couple of your YouTube videos.
oh,
It's the first time I meet you, Brian. So
yes.
thank you both for inviting me here to talk to you from the other side of the pond.
Yes, yes. It's just I mean, we've done this with other people, but I'd have to say you're the first musician that we've done this with. And
Oh
it
wow,
seems like it's a big honor for us, because music is near and dear to my heart as well as Dustin's. But um, uh, I just feel like we should highlight people that are, you know, in the same sort of periphery as what we do, and you highlight what we do, and I just think it's great. So
that's great. I feel very honored too because yeah.
great.
Yes, I have a special way of making music, and music does something to me which I can hardly explain in words.
Mm,
Yeah. So, and I think Dustin picked that up. I think he felt it, and that's why he has been asking me to join you in this conversation.
that's
So,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very happy about it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
if I could speak to that a little bit, I spend a good deal of time looking for music that, I feel like supports me in like kind of being in the zone in terms of my meditation practice. For me anyway, one of the biggest benefits that I've gotten from it is kind of this uh, internal process, right? Where, I'm thinking about things that are going on in my life or in my spiritual practice and kind of working through them on a deeper level. And a lot of the time, like subconscious material kind of surfaces and I'm like processing it and thinking about it or seeing it in a new way, right? But to to do that, like when I'm looking for music that kind of supports that process, it's like the music needs to be not like um the central focus in a weird way, like or in an unexpected way. It's like I need it to not be like the primary focus, like imposing on my mind, like saying like here you're gonna like I don't know, like it's I don't want it to lead me, I just want it to support me, you
To
know.
facilitate. Yeah.
Yeah, facilitate. Yeah, is a good word. And so I just as soon as I found your music, um, it was like, oh, this is like some of the best that I have found.
Oh,
And it was like I started like rebuilding a lot of my playlists and it's like, 90% and I hope I say this right, is Liesbet, right?
oh wow.
Is that how you say your name?
Yes, Liesbeth is correct. That's how we
Okay,
pronounce it
good.
here
I
too.
looked
Yeah.
it up and I was like, oh, that's so cool because it's a derivation or it's the origin of Elizabeth, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really,
It's the Dutch name of Elizabeth. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So uh I just I appreciate your music so much for that reason because it really it's extremely beneficial, it's extremely supportive, it's deeply relaxing, it's very spacious and it's there's enough somehow you create enough there's enough like variety within your music, but it all seems to come or be tapping into the same kind of source. So I just thought it would be really cool to hear more about your creative process, I guess, and
Yeah,
how
that's
you
really
do that, you know?
great to hear because I think what you're experiencing while listening to my music is just when I started, that's how I felt. I felt the same way. and I was making the music, but for me, it was a kind of well, the native flute then was an instrument to be able to meditate. For me, when I play the music, when I play those instruments, it is like meditating. That's how it feels to me. Because yeah, maybe I should go back a little bit. I've been playing some piano when I was young, but you know how it goes. You work and you get kids and this and that, and you don't have much time for music anymore. And then you get later on in life, you get all kinds of signs of your body that you're crossing borders, you're going too far, and you know you have to slow down, relax, and there's more to life than work and you know this and that. And so my body said to me, "Oh, stop! You're really going too far with you know the hectic life of the job and everything." And so at that point, I started attending yoga classes. And there I discovered the power of the breath and also the power of meditating. But I found meditation, I didn't think it was very easy to do it properly, or, you know, you have to let your thoughts go, because thinking of nothing, that's not possible, but you have to let your thoughts come and go, and you have to focus on your breath, and you have to be a witness and this and that. I thought it was so complicating, and I was not really good at it. But those breathing exercises, they stimulated me to go look for an instrument where I had to use my breath. And so while Googling, I discovered the Native American style flute. And I think it's a very powerful instrument because originally it was made by the indigenous people of America. And these people are very close to nature. And that's what also attracted me in that instrument, also the Native American culture, the connectedness with nature, etc. But when I first bought and tried such a flute, something changed in me. It was really, it's a very intuitive instrument also. You don't have to think of music theory, nothing, because it has a pentatonic scale, so it's not that difficult. You can play what you want, in fact. And so it helped me when I was playing that. It was just like I was meditating, because while playing, and preferably in nature, I went to the woods here and the heather, and you know, I went playing there. So when playing there, I was just thinking of nothing else, just feeling the music, focusing on my breath, of course, because I had to use my breath for playing. And I was doing everything I had to do to meditate, in theory, you know. And it made me calm, it made me relaxed. And also later on, I started buying flutes from people in the United States, also Native Americans, but also non-natives. And that's why you call it Native American style flute and not Native American flute. But those people, they crafted these instruments by hand. And it's as if you can feel their spirit in those flutes, you know. It's when I play them, it's hard to understand, but and so that's how my journey started. And then my yoga teacher asked me to play during savasana at the end of a yoga session, when people are relaxed and lying down in corpse pose. And they were so enthusiastic about it, and they found it so relaxing that they asked me again and again, and I started giving chakra balancing meditation concerts and everything. And then there was COVID. And so the people asked me, can't you make an album, a physical CD, so we can listen to it at home? But I didn't even know what DAW was, or I was not technical at all, but I like to learn and to develop, and so I started Googling and watching YouTube videos, and now you have ChatGPT, of course, to help you. And so I learned how to use a DAW to record my music. I made my first CD, and then later on, not physical CDs anymore, but streaming. And that's how it all started, and that's how it all developed. And I really love doing it because the feeling that I had when I started playing, I discovered that other people like you, Dustin, that they get that feeling too. That I can convey what's coming from somewhere, and I sometimes feel like a vessel bringing or putting energy through to other people who can benefit from it. That's how it feels. And that's how it all started, and that's where I am now. And it's been an amazing journey, really, and I'm really grateful for it.
That's so cool. I love that I mean, you started publishing your music and doing the streaming on Spotify like relatively recently. I mean, COVID's just the last like five
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
But I love that you're getting a bigger following and yeah, and anything I can do to like promote that is,
that's
I
great.
want to do because like it, I just I'd be shocked if you didn't just keep growing, because
Yeah.
you know
It's amazing because I don't do it for the money or anything, because you hardly earn anything, but it's the feeling and reactions I get from people like you, that I can help people, because when I quit working, retirement, um, because I'm an old lady. I don't know if you can see it. um, I missed my job a lot, because I was an organization consultant, and I did management coaching, team building, things like that. So I had the feeling I had some worth. I could help people, and when I stopped working, I missed that, and I found that again in sharing music. That I have the feeling that you can contribute, to the well-being of other people, and that's my motivation. That's why I love doing it, and of course it motivates me enormous, as when people like you, Dustin, then write me a message. Oh, I really love your music, and it's relaxing, and that motivates me, really. It's really nice. Yeah, that's why I
cool.
do it and keep going.
Yeah, definitely keep going.
Yeah.
Before we got on, Brian was speaking about your flute playing. Maybe you can articulate what you were
Yeah, I
sharing.
was going to jump in
Oh, okay, sorry.
just in case
Yes.
before I, get wound up listening to this great conversation, Uh, Lisbeth, I have to say, I've been a musician most of my life, and I have to say, after listening to yours and listening to others of the same genre, you know, I would have to say, honestly, that your phrasing in the way that you play is the closest I've ever heard to a Native American playing the same instrument.
Wow.
It's incredible. And I was trying to explain to Dustin how, um, I've done much work with certain natives, and and from their explanation and from me listening to it after they explain it, it's like they go out into nature, and it's like it's very much almost a very akin to almost a Taoist idea that nature is the physical embodiment of God, and through all the elements. So um, they they sit or they stand there and they use the instrument to commune with those elements, whether it be lake or stream or mountaintop, wind, forest, animal, people, all of this. And what comes out is this prayer, communication, sort of a conversation back and forth. And your phrasing, the pausing, it's like I can hear that, the nature reflecting from your soul and going back into the environment. And it's
Biggest
just it's
compliment
just
I've
beautiful.
ever. Thank you so much. That's really
Oh,
a very big compliment. I've never, yeah, that's one of the nicest compliments I've ever heard about me playing because, yeah, that's what I feel too. That the connection with nature, um, apart from religion or anything,
oh, sure.
it's something that's much higher and bigger than myself, and I feel part of it. And when I play that flute in nature, I feel really part of everything surrounding me, and even dear ones that have passed. I can. I'll tell you a secret. I've even bought some flutes, especially created for some loved ones that have passed. And
Hmm.
I play those flutes especially for these people, for my father, for my sister, And
Yes.
somehow it gives me the feeling of connection, and that's really nice, yeah. But also, yeah,
No.
with the elements, it's yeah, the wind, the water. I really love playing by the sea, the ocean, and unfortunately, I live about 2 hours drive
Mm.
from the sea. But every time I go on holiday, I love traveling, and whenever I travel, I take a flute with me, and most of the time it's near the ocean, and then I just
Right.
go and play, and oh, it's so fabulous, really. Yeah,
Well, I just think that the way that it comes through, and it's the way that I use this music. It's there's that idea of entrainment, right? So it's like not just the rhythm or, it's not just like binaural beats that are putting a very specific sort of frequency in your head to sort of keep you at a certain level. This is, the same type of entrainment, but not the same technical entrainment. I feel like when I listen to it, that I can imagine in my mind, uh, being enveloped by that element, whether it be the ocean, the waves, the mantra, the streams, and the wind. It's really, it's so beautiful. It's just,
yeah.
it's
It's not only the entrainment with the frequencies of the flute or of the instrument, but also with the elements when you're sitting in nature.
right.
I'm a real strong believer of the sound healing principles. I'm a big fan of Jonathan Goldman,
Yes.
and that flute. It's like you were saying. The pauses are so important because in the pauses you let the music sink in, and that's so valuable. But I'm really curious, Brian. You're a musician too. What can you tell me
I say
something?
musician only technically. It's, I'm just a drummer.
Oh, that's the most difficult instrument there is. That's percussion. So if you're
Percussion.
good in percussion, then you can do anything. So
Well, we have a joke over here on this side that, uh, the drummer's the guy that just hangs around with the band, you know. So
no, it's great when you're good at percussion. Yeah, it's a very difficult instrument. Yeah.
yeah, it's just been such a huge part of my life from the time that I was, I don't know, fifth grade or something like that, uh, when I started playing. And um, yeah, it's just always been such a very close companion through my whole life that, um, it really is, I'm very sensitive to it. So it really has helped me through my spiritual practice, through all kinds of ups and downs in my life. Music has always been there. So,
Do
Yeah.
you also play the native drum or the
Yes. Mm-hmm.
shaman drum? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very special, huh?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's, or the talking drum as well, So like I worked with a roadman from the Deny, and they they use a water drum that's
mhm,
tied every night before ceremony,
yeah,
and just the way that they can make that talk, and the process that they put you know, different components other than just water in there. There's shells in there, there's little stones in there, there's different things to make it sound for whatever the ceremony is that night, and so it's amazing. And that they even if they're doing several nights in a row, it's like that gets untied and taken down after every ceremony, and
mhm.
separated all the pieces and put aside, and for the next night, and they retie it.
Wow. Yeah.
It's always that, it takes about, I would say it takes a good hour for them to put it together every night before they start. So yeah, it's
You're
pretty,
so fortunate that you live so close to these things. For
yeah.
me, it's impossible. I've been in the States a couple of times, but
Hmm.
for me, it's impossible to connect with people who
Yeah,
are still practicing those rituals. Here they do it too in the Netherlands, but it's a bit fake, I think.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
no, everything is called, shamanistic or this or that, and they have drum circles here, but it's not the
Well,
same.
just so you know, most of the ones here are pretty fake too.
Yeah, I can believe that. It's the hype can, yeah,
It's a big country, and if we don't do anything else well, we know how to commercialize on things that have some interest to people that are, you know, pretty devoid of spirituality,
yeah,
from our own, you know, choices, trying to go, our major concern in our country is commerce, so, and we've traded our spirituality for that for the most part. So now, and those people that have found that to be empty are trying to get back to some kind of spirituality. So we're just so happy to be able to speak to you about that. So because it's, not everybody knows where to go or where to start, and there is so much out there that, we just, have a great opportunity to promote the people that we think are, doing the right thing, and as close as possible, to what we promote. So
and
yeah.
there is much more need nowadays. I see with young people are much different from us. We were working,
Oh,
earning money,
absolutely.
and at the commercial society. But young people, like my children who are 28 and 30 now, they really have they are really more sensitive to spirituality, and they don't care so much about their job as long as they're happy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good
It is a
development.
good thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
It had to happen one time because it's like a
It's the
pen.
pendulum.
Yeah,
The Taoists call it the principle of reversion. What's on the top becomes on the bottom. What's on the bottom becomes on the top,
yeah,
right?
true.
So
Yeah, yeah,
it's, yeah, these are cycles, right? So our job is to help prepare the next generation for what's to come, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
But
That's
I
great.
think you guys really should try to play the Native American style flute. I think you would really love it, and especially if you love music and you have that, like you, Dustin, you have the artistic in you, and you, Brian, you're a musician. So why don't you try it? It's really yeah, it has changed my life really, and of a lot of people I know because I've been in Facebook groups only people playing the native flute.
Mm-hmm.
See the same thing happening with all those people. It changes you. It's yeah.
Mm. It's
Where did
interesting.
you first acquire your like a native
Yeah,
flute?
the first one was a high spirits flute. It's a brand, because they make flutes not really by hand, but it's partially mechanized. Do you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
partially by hand, partially with,
with
machines and
machines.
everything.
Hmm.
But they had all over the world, they had, people who were selling it or shops who were selling it. So here in the Netherlands, I could find a shop to buy
Hmm.
a high spirits flute. It was a spiritual shop, also selling Buddha statues and this and that. So yeah. But then later on, I started importing them from the United States, and really flutes made by hand all the way. And the downside is I have to pay customs, I have to pay shipping costs and everything, so that makes it expensive.
Sure.
But I like playing flutes which are completely made with love by hand,
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So
uh,
when you talked about like going and being in nature while you play, right?
yeah,
And being kind of receptive to what's there um and allowing that to come through the music. But
yeah.
um are you how do you go out into nature to record, or do you go out into nature to just like create the song, but then you memorize it and then you play it in the studio? And like, how do you
Yeah,
manage that? Because like
that's
for
a
me as a
very,
painter, it's like I'm painting while I'm there.
yeah,
And so it's all happening in the same place. But if I had to like go there, memorize it, and then come back to my studio,
that's a
I don't know if I could
very,
do that.
that's a very, very good question. And sometimes I'm feeling a little burned out here behind my computer recording music just because of that reason. And I have to go
Mm,
out into nature just to, refill and get more inspiration and energy. And no, I can't do that like you, because it has to be quiet. You can't have outside noises. You can use nature sounds, but then I do use a lot of nature sounds in my music, but I just field record them before with my H4n Pro Zoom, and then I bring them, I polish them, of course, and I take away the wind noise and everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bring them into my music as a separate.
Track.
But the way I do it here behind, yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Here's my station where I work, and you see the MIDI keyboard, and I make my backing tracks with that, my soundscapes. Huh? So the way I do it is I get my energy from nature, from outside, from travels I do and everything. But when I have to start recording, or I collaborate with other people and they send me starters, which are soundscapes, and I just close my eyes and I
Mm,
improvise on those soundscapes, and those soundscapes, um, how do you say it? They they are my inspiration. They just evoke something in me that I play without having to think. Of course, I have to think in which key is it written before, because I have to take the flute that matches, of course, the soundscape. Huh?
Right.
They write something in A minor, I can't take an F major flute, or I have to have an A minor flute, or if they do it in C major, I have to take an A minor flute or a C major flute, for instance. So it has to match. Huh? But then when I have that starter, I just let go and I go with the flow and I just play. And I do it the same when I compose something myself. I start with a rough sketch with a rough soundscape. Sometimes I first listen to ocean sounds, just 10 minutes
mm.
to, you know, get in the flow and listen to nature sounds. And then I'm ready to flute over it. So it's not the same as you do, but I have to help myself like that, because can't record in nature. I could, but it's not good enough to distribute because there's too
Right.
much outside noise and also of course I apply some effects on my flute playing like reverb and sometimes a little bit of delay, just like in the canyons, huh?
Right.
Right.
um, and it makes it even more beautiful, and you don't
Yeah, it
want
was, I wanted to tell you too, when I was showing your music to my wife Kira, and I was showing her another flutist on Spotify that I used to listen to a little bit more before I found you. And I was showing her, like, I said, listen to this. And I was like, now listen to this. And she was like, oh wow, that's wild, the difference. And what she described was, she said the first track sounded more like um, the flute was like coming at her. And then in yours, it made it sound like the flute was like all around her, almost like she was like inside of it. Like there was like a, kind of an ambient spaciousness to it. And that's not even something that I would have picked up on. But when she said it, I was like, yeah, that's right. And it made me wonder about like your recording process. Like if you, like you obviously, I think that's one of the things that I kind of intuitively appreciate about what you do, is just that, like, obviously you have the intuitive aspect of the playing, and but there's also a clearly very, you have a technical proficiency as well to be able to manage, like as you're describing, doing the recordings and separating the tracks and then seeing your studio. I'm like, wow, you know
yeah,
what you're doing,
yeah, and a couple of years ago, my first CD was in 2019, but I really started recording 2021 during COVID, and I really learned all this from, yeah, YouTube videos, Google, try and error, because it's a whole new field for me. I didn't know anything about it, and I'm not a technical person at all. But you can, and there are so many things you don't know what's happening behind the scenes that I have to correct. And like, when you talk or when you play the flute, your palatum touches your tongue, and you hear clicks and everything. And when I'm playing, recording then, and I just let myself go and I don't think of anything, then afterwards, when I play it back, I can hear those clicks, and you can't take those clicks out. You can't correct them
Huh.
technically. It's impossible because it's in the how do you call it?
The wave
Sound
file.
wave. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the sound wave, or at the end, but not completely in the end. So then I have to start over, and those parts I have to pick those parts, and I have to play over them again. And I hate that part because that's, that has nothing to do with going with the flow and making music. And I hate the commercial part of having to promote my music on Instagram and Facebook. I do it, but I don't like doing it, things like that. But it's part of the deal when you want to share your music, and when you have to do those things too.
I
Gee, we have more in common with you than we even thought.
yeah.
Most people are hyper promotive, we seem to be in a very small club now that's like, let your work speak for itself.
I tried that in the beginning, but
I know.
it doesn't. Yeah, it's nice, but you don't have many listeners, and
Right, right.
So how did you like um be, because I do admire you for that as well too, like showing up on Instagram on a regular basis and promoting your music that way. And I feel the same way about my artwork. And it's honestly taken me quite a long time to be even remotely comfortable with doing it. And now I'm just like trying to do it more. And how did you like I don't know, cross that bridge or get over that for yourself to to start doing it more, because you seem to show up a lot, and every
Yeah.
time I see your stuff I'm like, I gotta like and comment on her stuff, because obviously because I appreciate what you're doing, and like, and I feel like it's like, I don't know, I just, it's like I wanted to connect with you but also to like support you, because it's like, when I don't know, it's, I don't know why. I just wanted to, So it's but I do, yeah, like how do you get yourself to do that? Like,
Yes.
since you say you don't like it very much, I think a lot of us don't. So
Yeah, it started social. I think if I wasn't making music, or I didn't want to promote it, or make it visible to people, then I wouldn't be on social media so much anymore.
yeah.
Because I used to be on Facebook, especially during COVID, and I was in certain flute clubs, native flute clubs, and it was nice because you got to know people, especially in the United States, and you could talk about flutes and music and everything, and it was really nice. But I hardly had Instagram, I think, at that time. Um, and then when I started making music, I realized, okay, if I want to people to hear it and to, then I have to, be more visible and get their attention. And so I started also posting on Instagram. And also, one of my best friends is Chat GPT nowadays, because I learn so much. I don't talk with Chat GPT like some people do, but I ask questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? What is the best time to post an Instagram reel? Or what do I do when I want to do this? Or uh, how do I make an account with Amazon for artists, for instance? That kind of stuff, or Spotify for artists. How do I do that? And I get answers, and I go on and I learn a lot, and so ChatGPT told me, you have to post at least 2-3 times a week on Instagram, and this is the best time, and this and that, but I post a lot these days because I make more music than I used to. I really have, also because I collaborate a lot, and then everything comes together, and also with the contract with this label, I'm making much more music than last year. And I think that every track deserves some kind of love. So I'm not like, oh, I'm going to promote that track a little, and not that track. But I think every track deserves a little love. So for every track, or for every EP or album, I think I need to say something or post something on Instagram, and that's why you see me so much on Instagram.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Is that a bit an answer to your question, Dustin? Or
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely I I didn't I do use AI a little bit for things here and there, but I've been using it for more technical things in terms of condensing my writing or summarizing long periods of text or doing research, but I haven't really used it as a tool to ask me for like promotional strategies and things like
yeah,
that. So
or
it's not a bad idea.
yeah, or just advice. How do I fade in and fade out in Logic, for instance, or just
Yeah.
technical stuff, or what kind of microphone can I buy best for a native flute, or for a flute in general, or is it a condenser microphone, or So I just ask advice, and if I don't know how to do this, I don't only do it for music, but also for technical stuff in the house. If my TV doesn't work, or
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
fix something, I just ask ChatGPT. That's the only thing I use it for, and also for my travels, because my physical condition isn't that good. I have some problems with my muscles, and
Mm,
tendons.
mm.
And when we go traveling, I asked ChatGTP, for instance. So when we went to Crete lately, I said, "Give me um, a, do you say that a walk? Yeah, or
Mm.
yeah, to walk or to go for a walk. Yes,
Oh,
give
sure,
Hmm.
me
yeah.
a walk
Sure.
of a maximum 2 to 3 kilometers, which is quite easy along the coast, for instance. Give me a place where I can start and describe a route that I can take, and then I get several suggestions, and then I go with my husband for a walk, and
That's
it's
great.
not too steep, and yeah. So that's
That's
how I
very, very practical. It's
yeah,
very
I use
practical.
it in a very practical way. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great. I
So I
like
have
that.
to ask you, is there anything, because I know I don't want to keep you too long today, but is
Okay.
there anything that like I should ask you about your music that I didn't already, or that people don't ask you about very much, but that is actually like something, either I don't know, like uh, interesting about your creative process um that you like would like to share, or that you people don't ask you about very much?
That's a difficult question. um, uh, I'm not. I don't have something in mind, but maybe one tip for people who want to start playing the Native American style flute
Yeah.
is don't play from tablature. Just throw away tablature and just pick up the flute, close your eyes, and just, go with the flow and build in pauses and listen to yourself and, play, try to play it more intuitively, because some people have native flutes and they play to Nakai tablature. So it's a
Right,
different kind of tablature than the typical notes you see for piano playing, but you see little flutes and then the holes that are covered, and and they
right.
want to learn to play you know pop songs, or Nights in White Satin, or you know and I think it's nice if you want to do that, but it's such a shame because you can use a recorder too. You can play it with a recorder too. You don't need a native for that.
It's so true.
That's a tip I'd like to give to people who start playing. Just throw away your tablature and start listening to music to on Spotify, and that will inspire you. And go out in nature and play in nature. It's something, yeah.
That's so great. I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad I asked you that because that's such a great tip. But it does make me want to ask you one other thing. Just when you're not like playing the flute to record,
Yeah.
when you said that it's also a part of like how you meditate, and you found that that was like like an inroad to meditation for you. Um, like uh how do you do it when you're just doing it for yourself like that, like
Yeah. Either like now it's dark outside and it's a bit stormy and raining, so I can't go out. And I have a little room here, and it's a multifunctional room because I showed you the little space where I record, but I also have some other instruments here that I use, also
oh wow.
world instruments. And I have a little corner here where I can sit in front of my gong. And usually I sit there when I want to play the flute away. You're telling me, and I just sit there and I play there. And but whenever I can, I go outside. I live in a small village near a bigger city, and so here there's a lot of nature, not as beautiful as in the United States, of course, because everything is big and overwhelming there. Here it's more, here everywhere you go in nature, you can still hear planes or cars or
Uh,
everything. So
Mm.
it's not that big and vast and isolated as in Yellowstone Park or I don't know where,
Montana.
but in Montana or yeah. Oh, that would be a dream to play there. But I just go out in the small patches of nature here because the Netherlands is a very crowded country. It's very
Hmm.
small and lots of people living here. And so I just go out there in the woods or when I can, I go to the seaside. But here, 5 minutes by bicycle, and I'm in the woods.
Wow.
So that's where I go then, and yeah, that's where I play. Yeah, when the weather is okay. Because
Right.
where are you guys from? From Sedona or no? From
No, I live in the very top of New York State. So I live in the Adirondack Mountains. I'm
oh
about I'm about a half an hour from Canada.
oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so I
So
you
in
take
the
5 minutes by
Atlantic.
bike, I take 5 seconds by feet, to get into
Oh,
nature. It's
wow. With
literally right outside my back door. My house
with
is in the
in
woods.
summer now with the trees, the
It's
color.
fall now, so we've got all the leaves changing and all of that at this point. It's a little rainy out today, but it's been quite temperate, for this time of year for us. So it's been very nice. So
I know.
it's and not too cold, so it's really lovely to get outside and to be able to walk around in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
great. And you, Dustin, because I'm sure you have told me, but I'm an old lady, so I forget.
That's okay. Uh, yeah, I'm in Massachusetts,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of beautiful nature places very close by.
I see it
So
in your paintings. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I have a few places. I have one place that's by a lake that I like to go, and one place that's in like more in the deep woods, and then one place that's kind of a nature reserve that's like a field.
I,
Um, and so I have a little bit of each kind of element around me that I can use for inspiration,
yeah,
and just to get out and be in nature. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nature is such a source of inspiration. I wouldn't. I have lived in a city when I was younger, in Antwerp in Belgium, but I wouldn't be able to live in a city anymore. I
Oh
like
yeah.
right.
it once in a while, but no, give me a little house, not on the prairie, but by the seaside.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Happy.
Cabin in the woods. That's what I always say.
A cabin near the ocean for me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us.
Thank you.
I guess I just should ask you, like, if we or anybody wanted to like promote your music, obviously they can find you on Spotify and things like that. But is there anything that would be helpful or beneficial to like share your music or promote it somehow or anything like that at this point?
It would be nice if you want to mention something. I've one link. It's a link tree link. You know that
Okay.
link tree?
Yeah.
I can send it to you on your
Is that the
Instagram.
link tree that would be off of your Instagram account?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'll grab it.
When you open it, when you open Instagram, you
Yeah,
see the profile, and under it there is a link tree link, and there I have most of my things like my Spotify, my Apple account, my YouTube account, website, but it's not up to date anymore.
sure, sure.
So yeah, I've all kinds of links there. So that would be the easiest, I think, to if you would want to share something with people, then I
Yeah,
think it would
definitely. I mean, I'll include it, in the description of where we post
be very,
this and all
very
that.
sweet.
But I was just thinking like, oh, as the kind of, musician and the music that you create now, it seems like the primary outlet for it is like streaming services. But I wonder if like, uh, do you see yourself doing any like concerts or like retreats or things
Yes,
like
I
that?
have.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah?
I have
Okay.
done that. Also retreats, yoga retreats, playing on yoga retreats. I've done a lot of chakra balancing meditation concerts. I've been invited in the United States at the World Flute Society convention for a concert, in Oregon for a flute festival, native flute festival. But you know, I loved performing, or I loved doing those chakra meditation concerts. But I've recently, I don't do it a lot anymore because physically,
Mm.
it's for me, um, you know, demanding, because I walk around. People are lying on yoga mats, and I walk around with my flutes playing during 1.5 to 2 hours. And you
Wow.
know, the next day, I'm really, you know, I have to recuperate, and my muscles and my tendons hurt because, yeah, it's my condition is not that good, and I have to accept it. But and I used to drag along my big gong and everything, but I can't do it anymore. It's
Right.
physically too demanding, and that's a pity because I love doing that. Because while you're playing, you feel the connection with the people. Some people just start crying, or you know, they release, and you don't have that when you're sitting here recording behind your computer. And of course, in the end, it reaches people, but you don't have the connection. I have the connection with you because you reached out to me, but most of the people I'll never see or hear, or huh?
Right. Right. Right.
It's a
Yeah.
pity. You
Next
have that
time I'm
one
next time I'm
visible.
crying while I'm listening to your music, I'll take a little selfie video or something and send it to
Yeah,
you.
but you know what I mean, eh?
Yeah.
It's yeah, and I loved playing for people live. It was playing in nature is the nicest, but playing for people live the second nicest,
Right.
and then recording. Yeah,
That's
Cool.
great.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our podcast.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I
you
hope
know,
you understood everything because it's not my mother tongue, so I try
Oh,
to
oh,
it's
explain.
very good. It's
Thank you.
very, very good.
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. I never would have, I mean, at no point did I think, oh, it's not her native language. So it's,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Just with a very nice accent, you
Yeah,
know, it's
just a
like
really pretty
Yeah,
accent.
where,
It's fine.
you know, as Americans, we have a great affinity for, you know, just slight accent over English, you
yes.
know, it's like
But you have a lot of accents, Italian and Greek, and you know,
Yeah,
it's,
that's right.
yeah, you're used to it. You don't hear a Dutch person talking English. You don't hear it. It's just another accent.
Right, right. I think it's great.
Okay, thanks so much, guys, and I'll be
Thank
following
you.
you on YouTube with the lucid dreaming podcast and everything. And
Great.
Nice.
so I'm really glad we met, and we keep in touch.
Very
Definitely.
good. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Wishing you all the best.
You
You
too.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
All
Uh,
right, dude.
all right.
Well,
Cool.
I thought that was wonderful. Very nice. Very it's nice to have something that's sort of an adjunct to what we do coming from that direction and um you know, it just shows people, you know, how broad this is, you know, and all these different avenues that they can utilize to promote their own practice, you know, and get deeper into their practice, and that there's all these little elements that are the same as the things that we've been talking about, just from the aspect of like sound in this case, or music in this case, you know, that type of thing, that conversational aspect of, you know, I was so, you know, delighted that she was talking about the pause as a pause, as opposed to
Right.
just the technical notes and the whatever, right? And, you know, that it's just, that's, that's what we've been talking about, right? It's like the pause
Hmm.
is when the one is speaking to us, you know, it's like, or through nature or through whatever, you know, so that's, that's very, very cool. Very cool stuff.
I wish I could like bottle it all up somehow, you know, or something, you know, like when you talk like that, or, you know, when she's sharing some of those things, it's like, I think that's the, I think what I liked about her saying that she, um, you know, doesn't like doing the promotional stuff, but that she's kind of gotten herself to do it anyway. It's like she, I feel like she just kind of understands that, like, if she doesn't do it, it's less likely that people will hear what she's creating. And I don't know. I feel like at least that I took away more from that, because I don't know. It's like, again, it brings me back to, in some ways, like the origins of To Be Silent, and how the essence of it is having this thing that you feel is very precious that you want to share, but you don't want to, like, jam it down somebody's throat, or you don't want to, like, feel like you're using like marketing strategies to like manipulate somebody into like coming
Right,
on
right.
board with it. So it's like, how do you walk that path in a balanced way that preserves the kind of sacredness that you feel that you
Well,
that
the
kind of
integrity of it,
surrounds,
right?
integrity is a good word. Yeah, the integrity of it. Um, and so yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still figuring that part out, but
Aren't we all? You
yeah,
know?
I get, yeah, maybe it's like the thing we were talking about last night with the meditation, where like feeling like I'm uh it's like what you, I thought what you said was so profound, like the desire to make progress makes you want to practice even when you don't feel like you're seeing progress. Like there's something about the way that you, like, I don't know if I said it as well. I mean, I think I stated like the correct, like I stated it correctly, but somehow when you said it the other night, I was just like, that's right. Like that's right. Somehow that is so right. It's like I don't know. It's,
Yeah,
yeah, it makes it not about just what am I gonna like get from every individual thing that I do, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Takes the transaction part out of it.
Yeah,
You're there because you want to be there. And you know that even if it's not something that's readily apparent, even to yourself, that you are getting something, you are achieving something, it's like, and you're building something within you that, um, will break forth when it's ready. It's like you can't birth a human child in a month, right? It's like it's like there's a certain time for everything. And it's like, and it's the same with this, it's like it, and sometimes it just takes that one thing, that one piece of music, that one idea, that one uh um in your case, that question, that one question, is concentrating on the flame. The thing is, there's something there. I don't know what, quite can't quite articulate it, but there's something so, immediately important about that, that it is the key to unlocking all of this other, and when you do, the ramifications are multiplied exponentially, right? And roll into every other aspect of your life, and that just compounds the effect, right? So it's like, yeah, and you never know what that's going to be for somebody, right? So
right.
there are
Hmm.
lots of seekers out there. There are lots of, and it could be one piece of her music that sort of opens them, to healing or to whatever, right? To
Yeah, right.
release or whatever it is. And the same thing with us, it's like you never know. Somebody's seeking and they've hit a wall a dozen times with different things, and had a bad taste in their mouth, but they push that button one more time to say, like, well, all right, let me try this to see if I
Hmm.
can open myself up, right? And that's it's so important, to and for us too, to move past those points of, like, when things don't seem to be working, but you show up anyway and do your best, right? Knowing that it will break free at some point. Something will happen, and that'll
Mm.
be the catalyst that, drives everything forward. So, yeah.